you've been away for a while. You have actually got a tan. You've grown a little bit. That sun's done wonders for you. Food challenges. What have you been up to?
Of course, a steak features. Biggest steak in Texas is in there.
72-ounce steak, big Texan.
No,
in Richmond.
No, it's more than that. It's bigger than that.
2.5 kilos.
Yeah, so about 5.5 pounds-ish. Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, boss. Since you're not from around here, I should tell you, it's not polite to film people on private property. Why are you involving yourself in this?
Mind your fucking business.
Some people just like confrontation.
Guess who emailed? While you were away?
Don't say Spotify. I don't believe you. Was it?
Lad, 100%. Spotify emailed me.
Hi, madam. No, it does sound weird.
Keep it rolling.
It sounds weird. I am BeardMeatsFood.
And I'm Josh Goodgen.
And I tell you, it feels good to be back here on the Breaking Bread podcast. It feels like slipping into a warm pair of skinny jeans that Mrs. Beard has left on the radiator on a cold winter's day. That's what it feels like. How have you been?
It's nice to have you back. I've been good. We've missed you. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, actually, while you've been away. I ain't stopped.
That explains why your t-shirt's so creased.
Yeah, I know. I don't iron in my house, to be fair. Those that are listening, I'm wearing a creased
Stop
Vans.
stroking yourself, man. Come on.
Creased Vans t-shirt.
Go on, tell me about this whirlwind that's been occurring.
No, it's just been busy. I mean, obviously, I've not had much communication with you apart from taking the piss out of you on Twitter. But we've been really busy in the studio. A lot of inquiries have come in recently to make videos and stuff. The day job, which we can't complain about. It keeps us all gainfully employed. But what I did want to talk about first was my sister got married, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I had this preconception of British weddings because I went and got married in Vegas. Like, we just disappeared and said, we're going to get married on this day. If you want to come, please join us. But if not, we won't be offended.
Married in Vegas. That's definitely not a cliche.
We didn't get married at like the little white chapel though by Elvis. We did it nicely.
What's the point then?
Because I mean, like,
You didn't do a shotgun wedding?
No.
No.
Have you been to Vegas?
I've never been. No, it's going to be this
on the
year
list, yeah.
at some point. Yeah.
Incredible place. We got married at Caesar's Palace. There were like these nice gardens out back. The whole thing like 42 degrees. Like 10 minutes for a wedding, so in and out.
I bet you were fucking crisping up there.
Oh, mate. Can you imagine what I look like at a wedding in Vegas? Not as bad as some of the guests, though. But yeah, my sister got married. Beautiful day. And one thing that I learned having been at that wedding was that entertaining the guests is the most important part because that's exactly what they did, right? So get this. Usual stuff, married in a church, go have a dinner, speeches, all really nice. But you know when you've had your meal and it just starts, there's that lull in there as you're about to like lead into the evening do, but there's normally a couple of hours gap. So these waiters that have been, right, you love this, these waiters that have been serving us all day, like pouring wine and shit like that. I'm sat there and this waiter walks past our table and he trips up carrying a tray of knives and forks. So can you imagine in like this big hall, what the fuck's going on there? So he drops, clatters everywhere. Everyone's like, oh, what's happened? And I'm like, what the fuck's happened? And why is he walking around carrying a tray of knives and forks? So we all jump up and try and help him up. My sister's sat at the top table like, what's going on? So she starts laughing. Her new husband literally turned to him and were like, why are you laughing, you sick fuck? She literally said that. And he jumps up and like bursts into song, starts singing Queen. So they were like, it was like a, what would you call that?
It was all a ruse, like a setup.
It was a setup, yeah. It was like a flash mob.
That the waiters did. So these were waiters who were also talented in terms of the fact they could sing and perform.
Well, I think to convince the lie, they just served all day as waiters just to be able to convince us.
That's some effort, that isn't it? Man? Yeah. And what this? So who knew about that then? Was that like
just my sister? Only my sister had booked it, so even the husband didn't know. So no one knew that this was going to happen.
What did they sing? What was the coincidence?
So they sang Queen. Which one did they sing? Having a good. What's it? I'm having a good time. What? No, want to stop.
Don't stop me now.
Don't stop me now.
Obviously, yeah. Fucking.
We've got the musician in the corner. Cheers, George.
Yeah, that one.
And then they got everybody up dancing, and they were singing a bunch of other songs. And they finished off with like Rob Williams' Angels, which were a banger.
Oh, God, fuck.
Yeah, but it's a wedding, man. It's a day of love.
If that happens at your, if I get married to Lynn's, right? If that comes on, the DJ's getting fucking tackled. He's getting speared into the ground.
Mate, I guarantee that any wedding DJ, come 12 o'clock, last calling orders, that's what they're going to play.
I can't stand that song. I think it's absolutely heinous. Anyways, I'm sure it was nice at the wedding though.
George, what are you saying? Are you a fan of that song?
No, I do
see
agree.
you
I
two are
do
like them
agree.
proper like hipster purist musicians that are like, nah, fuck that guy. Rob Williams can't sing, but everybody else just like, oh yeah, Rob Williams.
It's just a terrible the song is bad, but then it's overplayed, which makes it worse. But anyway,
What are you saying? What's your go-to song then? What would you last call, end of the night, bring everyone together, they're pissed. Like what are you gonna play?
At the end of the night, so
Yeah,
I'm
so-
trying to evacuate people.
No, you're not trying to evacuate people. It's like you're summing up the day, summing up the night. What would be
I
your
don't
go-to?
fucking know. Easy like Sunday morning, provided the party happened on a Saturday night. I don't know. I'd probably play. Not that.
Not that, right.
Not that. Anything but that, probably. Yeah.
To quote you, painting a real picture there, Adam. Anyway,
Shut up.
so that happened, and then as we actually went into the night do,
Yeah.
so they do the first dance, which is really nice, and then
What was the first dance song? Not like
shit.
dance song, but like what was the song they danced to? Lindsay's already got that picked out for us, even though we're not getting married.
what she picked out?
There's a song by a artist called Regina Spektor called Samson, which is like a real slow jam. But yeah, she wants that.
I don't know that song.
No, you maybe
Yeah.
can overlay it or something. I don't even think very few people actually know it. She's like a Russian, Anglo-Russian American singer. I don't know.
Don't know it. I can't remember what theirs was. I'm pretty sure it was a Stevie Wonder song. Like,
Nice.
Pretty sure the big Stevie Wonder fans.
I just called to say I love you.
Give me another one.
Very superstitious.
No, it can't be that one.
Not that one.
No, that's not a first dance.
It's got to be romantic, hasn't it?
Ah, shit.
Your first jam. Your first dance is supposed to be a romantic
Wait,
thing.
I'll text them. They're in Maldives at the minute.
I mean,
we'll come back to this, but
later on we find out what the
I
what
don't
these
know.
strangers
Sorry,
first,
sorry,
Signed,
Laura.
sealed,
for-
delivered.
signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah, maybe. We'll put that in the maybe
Wild,
pile.
Wild, Wild West. You
I'm
know,
gonna go
the theme tune to that terrible Will Smith movie.
I'm gonna go like 80% maybe with that one.
All right, okay.
I probably should remember that. Anyway, so they do the first dance, and then it's like, right, they want to get everybody up dancing and involved in the night. How do we start off with a bang? A fucking saxophone player pulls out.
Live
A
saxophone.
live saxophone.
That's cool. That's
Mate,
really
it was
cool.
so sick. So like he would play and he did like 2 sets on the night, all sorts going on, and all in all, they absolutely fucking smashed that wedding. So I'm
fun.
all in. If anybody wants to invite me to a wedding and you do shit like that, sign me up because that were a great day.
I bet it cost them an arm and a leg though, didn't it?
Oh mate, I dread to think what it cost up there. We were up in like North Yorkshire.
At least you
it
didn't have
like
to travel far.
It wasn't too far. It was like in this manor house thing. Yeah, I dread to think what it costs. When's your wedding happening?
I don't know. I've staved it off now for about 7 years, so I'm going to keep it going as long as I can.
Is she not putting any pressure on?
No, she wants kids more than she wants to get married. So I'm more likely to get married than have kids. So we're kind of in a bit of a
stalemate.
No man's like, yeah, stalemate.
That's it. You could just keep pushing that on until you snuff it.
Yeah.
I imagine Lindsay's got longer than you have.
Well, I don't know. just eats garlic bread. Anyway, what are we chatting about today?
Your trip. I mean, you've been away for a while. You have actually got a tan. You've grown a little bit. That sun's done wonders for you.
Yeah, that's it's just because I got sunburnt on the last day. I would have been coming back white as usual, pale as usual.
Mrs. Beard shared like a meme, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
That's
But people,
funny,
you know,
that.
what the funniest part about that is people thought that was actually my hand.
Get bollocks.
Serious, like about 6 or 7 people. There was like a meme where it's somebody with a really intense tan next to somebody who was incredibly pale.
If you're watching, we will overlay that.
And so Mrs. Beard thought it was funny because I'm quite pale and she's always tanning, you know, be it fake or real. But yeah, she shared that meme. But yeah, I was perfectly pale pretty much because I spend the whole time inside when I'm in a hotel editing or in the restaurant eating.
I wish it were more. I wish your life were more glamorous. Like I feel like you need to extend your trip and enjoy it whilst you're there. But I know that you'll just go from
Ain't no time, Sonny Jim.
hotel to the gig back.
Yeah, but on the final day when I did the contest, it was baking hot and there was very little cover, so I didn't buy sun cream, so I got burnt. But my skin takes it pretty well. I can actually tan.
I can see that.
pretty easily. You know, my dad was like, he's Caucasian, right?
Right.
But he's dark and like his skin's kind of
Yeah.
it was an olive tone, like so he was always tanned, you know, like
Yeah.
year round. So I do tan quite easily. It's just I choose to be inside a lot. So I don't rate it. But yeah, I suppose I
Right.
look a little more healthy than
You
usual.
look well. I reckon after we've put a bit of a colour grade on this, you're going to look absolutely mint, mate. Well, tell us about your. Obviously, you mentioned there about competition. We'll talk about that later on. But tell us about the trip out there. With any antics? Anybody falling down escalators?
No, it was
Sniffer dogs, like anything?
No, I think it was largely uneventful. The trip out there, which is interesting because I was expecting, there was all that before I left. There was a bunch of hoo-ha about a lot of big queues at Manchester Airport. Admittedly, I went business class, so I got to jump a fucking huge queue. But like when I got to the front of the security part, it was reasonably.
So what? So if you pay business, you get to like walk past those peasants. Is that what happens?
Pretty much, yeah.
What?
You get to go past the bulk of the. Sometimes that's not really worth it though, because it's only really. In my experience, whenever you fly back if I fly back from America, for example, it's very rare that I have to queue to go through the security scan part. Right?
Yeah.
But in England, you always have to queue for fucking ages. But yeah, if you get a business class flight, you can circumvent a large part of that, and then you just queue at the end with whoever else is going business class.
I always wondered that. I always wondered why you never see celebrities in airports, because like they go like the back door entrance.
No, you still
Back
you
door
walk past, in fact, that's the best part. You just walk past everyone like, see, yeah, I'm going through the priority lane. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Everyone's getting on the plane in the end, aren't they? Really?
Very true.
But yeah, it was largely without event. The actual journey out there. Read the book.
Business lounge? I was going to say a business lounge in Manchester Airport. Any good?
Nah,
Free snacks?
I was a bit underwhelmed by that. I mean, like, there's a buffet there where you get like your English breakfast or whatever, and a little bit of yogurt. But the one on the way back, I was telling you, was really nice. The one at Houston Airport.
Yeah.
They had like a nice salad buffet. I was a little bit ashamed that I stopped at 2 plates because I spent nearly 3 weeks overeating.
Was that business class? That one that you put on your Instagram?
Yeah.
I thought you were like at a restaurant or something.
No, that was
fucking class. That.
Yeah, but you could actually at the lounge at Houston Airport, you could, if you were prepared to wait, basically, you could actually dine from a menu, and it was like included in the price. But I just thought, I'm only going to eat like a little bit of lean meat and some veggies.
You're mad strict with your diet. I understand that you eat for a living, but fair play.
But I mean, it was largely without event on the way out.
I used to love that on the Casey vlogs. You obviously watched Casey back in the day when he used to vlog going through like first class or business lounge, and he would like he'd be piling up snacks. I used to love that part.
I don't want to because people often say to me, they'll be like, "Oh, what?" Do you remember when the first video I did was when I went to Canada, the first overseas one in years because of COVID, right? And I got quite a lot of that. I vlogged a lot. I didn't really eat anything, but like I vlogged a lot of it. But I hate doing it because it kind of feels like when I put the video up, it's like, he's showing people that he's in business class. What a dick. So I kind of try and just avoid the whole thing.
I do. I understand it, but I mean, but you've earned that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a fucking business trip at the end of the day. Like you're going out there to work.
But still, I just try and generally. But I don't like to have my camera out like on planes anyway because it draws attention to you.
It does.
It was actually all right in the last trip when I went to Atlanta because. A couple of the
lad baby,
recognize me, right? So you kind of feel a bit more at home, like they're not going to give you grief for shooting stuff because they know what you're doing. Whereas broadly speaking, people don't usually know what I'm doing,
It's funny actually you mentioned that because McKinnon just released a video doing the Emirates flight, that Casey did fucking 5 years ago. So one of Casey Neistat's like most viral videos was him. He got flown Emirates from I don't know.
Is that the world's most expensive first class?
Yeah.
The one was like literally in the private.
Yeah. So like he was probably the first person to do that video.
McKinnon did that.
McKinnon did it like
how the fuck? Why am I not getting these? Why am I not getting these offers? How do you get to that level? Where like McKinnon doesn't get. I mean, like he's an incredible videographer, and we both like Peter McKinnon, right? But how do you get these? It must be when they're on fucking networks, aren't they? And I'm just like a lone wolf.
He's got like a manager and stuff. So his manager is a guy called Sean. Anyway, something
Mendes.
Sean Mendes. We'll say it's Sean Mendes. And
Coombs.
Do you know? I'm fucking this up badly. There's a network called Space Station owned by that Sean Duras. Have you heard of him?
No.
all right, well, this conversation's going nowhere. Anyway, he is part of a network and he's got a management team, and that's where it'll have come from. Like, he's got a proper team. Like, you've managed to get to where you are as little old you, and he's got this fucking
I love that, though. I buzz off that, man. I love that. I love this being this guy that just does it. I don't get involved with all this, like, celebrity shit. I'm not giving anyone 30% of my revenue to advertise fucking Manscaped or ball shavers or anything. I'm just doing what I want to do.
Look, I'm getting out of it.
But, yeah, I'm cantankerous now. It's because of the jet lag, so you have to let me off. But, yeah, I would, you know what I would love? I would love to do like a private booth like an Emirates and get like set up some like a tripod and whatnot and do like an aeroplane food challenge, because I think that would be a fun gimmick, right? But
can I, if I can secure that deal, I'll manage you for this one job. I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try and make these moves. I'll send some emails.
Do you know how much those first class flights are? They're like $12,000.
Pennies for you, mate.
No, that is
pennies for you, mate.
I mean, like,
you should take us anyway, you tight fuck.
I wince when I pay for business class, and it's like it's deductible. But like, I mean, like, who pays 10 grand, 12 grand to fly somewhere?
Yeah, to fly somewhere. That's like
you could buy a car for
fucking
that,
decent car. Yeah,
you could buy a couple of cars for that, you know.
Yeah. What would you rather have a trip for 12 bags on that, or get yourself a Rolex?
Well, I don't wear watches, never have worn watches, so I wouldn't. But
You'd still rather have the commodity as opposed to the trip.
I'd rather have something, than just say I paid £12,000 to fly somewhere. That's wild.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to secure that deal for you.
All right, okay.
Now, speaking of securing deals, I might as well bring this up now. Then we can carry on talking about your trip. Guess who emailed? Guess who emailed while you were away?
Don't say Spotify. I don't believe you. Was it?
Lad, 100%. Spotify emailed me.
Can I just say that was an incredible segue into this topic? You went from talking about securing deals. So you're actually improving at this hosting game.
Yeah,
what did
that was accidental as well.
What did they say? But was it a cease and desist email?
It wasn't a cease and desist, right? And when I saw it, I thought somebody's taking the piss here, because we've got us like Breaking Bread email address, and it said like Spotify. Oh, what did it say? Like Spotify management. I'll have a look. And I was like, fuck, this is it. And I know for a fact we haven't got the fucking numbers to get a Spotify deal. But yeah, Spotify management. And so we haven't got a Spotify deal. However, they have reached out, because we were one of the first people. So I managed to get us video access on Spotify or whatever. They emailed and said, can we use your artwork we're the main sponsor for the podcast show in London.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck's the podcast show? But yeah, of course you can have it. So they want to use our artwork on their stand. So it must be almost like a conference, like a big show, people talking from Spotify and all these other places.
Yeah.
Can we use your faces on our stand? I'm like, fuck yeah, you can.
For what reason though? I don't get it.
Because we're like because we're the ones that are using video podcasts on Spotify.
Oh,
so,
right, okay.
Like, we're people that are actually utilising this new feature on their platform, and they like that we're doing it.
Oh, okay.
Not only that, they've given us tickets to go down to the show.
You did tell me that, yeah. So I'm looking forward to another day in London. Christ help me.
2 days.
What? It's 2 days.
I've got to tell you, yeah. We don't have to do 2 days. But we've got tickets for 2 days. So we're going to the podcast show in London at the end of the month.
All right. Okay.
Mate, it'll be all right. Just think about how many mojitos we had last time. Bit of sunny weather. Just forget the trip.
I'm drinking the mojitos at the podcast event.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Is anyone cool going to be there? Did you say like Louis Theroux's going to be there?
Louis Theroux's going to be there.
I'm going to tackle him. Be like, Louis, come on this show.
There's going to be, I think there'll be a lot of big names there. There's a lot of people giving talks. I don't really understand what it is, but I'm excited that we've got invited.
It sounds like VidCon, but for podcasts.
Yeah,
PodCon.
I think so, yeah. PodCon.
That would have been a better name. PodCon.
Yeah. Mind you, might have copyright.
Maybe,
VidCon might
maybe that exists already.
So yeah, we're going to London, mate. I need to get some tickets booked for the train.
Make sure they're the right class, so I don't get any more arguments.
I think I'll take ownership of that. Well, I'll let Leanne do it. I'll get Leanne to book us as trains and as hotels.
Can Leanne come with us and like just chaperone? Make sure we don't get into any trouble.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for another trip to London. I know you don't like it.
Can we film a video down there? So your second food challenge? Yeah,
100%. Let's do
then
it.
That makes it worthwhile. That can rationalise it in my mind. If we
all
can.
right.
I don't know what we'll do, but like I'll look up. There'll be something that we could do.
That settles that then, right? Another food challenge. We're making it back on Beard's channel. But yeah, let's go back to the trip to America. Food challenges. What you been up to? What you done?
Well, I don't really want to spoil it, but I suppose that's the point of the podcast, some degree of exclusivity. But I did a couple of things. Fortunately, no English breakfasts. It was nice to have lots of those, in England, popping up all over the place. So it was nice to get a break from those. But yeah, of course, a steak features. Biggest steak in Texas is in there.
A 72-ounce steak, big Texan.
No,
in Richmond.
No, it's more than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
How can it be if they said
not,
that's the...
but it's a lie. It's not. It's not. So I mean, it may have been at one point, but it's a fallacy. There's a bigger one.
How big?
85 ounces.
85 ounces.
What is that? There's 13 ounces in it, but yeah.
What? How much? How many ounces? Can you put it into real money for us? Can you put it into like kilos or pounds or?
Oh man, ounces is like
that's old money, man. You should know.
I think it's about just over. It's the meat. I think that would be 5.5 pounds. I think 85 ounces.
85 ounces, 2.5 kilos.
Yeah, so 5.5 pounds ish. Yeah.
Fuck.
But then you had to eat a baked potato with it, a salad, which was nice, and a bread roll. But it was a cool place in the middle of nowhere. In fact, I shared an Instagram picture on the. Oh, it's not a funny story, but on the way out there, I killed a bird accidentally. And when I say bird, I mean the winged mammal, not slang for female. I accidentally killed a bird.
How?
Just harrowing. It was like it was in. Was it that one? It might have been a different video. But anyway, I was on this long country road. I put a story up on my Instagram with the Jeepers Creepers song in the background because it reminded me of that movie Jeepers Creepers, right? Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
And it was good because I prefer not driving on motorways or freeways, as they call them out there, or highways. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a bit of character to it. And this was just a long, fucking windy road for about 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
But parts of it were like over crest. That's like a Colin McRae rally thing, isn't it? Over the top of a hill, right? But it was a fast road and there's nobody on it, right? So I'm enjoying it. I'm like, this is great, nice, peaceful. It's a sunny day. And I'm doing whatever, 70 down this road. And I go over the top of this hill. And just as I go over the top of it, there's like 3 birds. Not small birds either. I don't know what breed they are.
Vultures. It's got to have been a vulture, hasn't it? Were they on the road?
Nah, I think I would have recognised a vulture. They were on the road, yeah. They were feasting on the carcass of some poor animal that had been hit by a previous driver.
Yeah.
But the big fucking bipedal things, like all
bipedal.
They've got 2 feet. I mean, I guess all birds have 2 feet, apart from griffins or some shit from mythology. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't. That's why I clarified.
I'm not talking about like a little pigeon. I'm talking about like a big fucking bird.
It's got to be a vulture, surely. Like if they're feasting on the
George, Google that shit. What birds that eat other animals? Carnivorous birds. But anyway, so I go over the hill, right, and this all happens in a split second. There's 3 of them. 2 of them managed to kind of get out the way.
Yeah.
And one of them, the dozest bird there, just kind of turns like this and gets a fucking license plate in the head. And I felt terrible because I felt awful because I've never hit anything in my car ever in my life, right?
I could just see you fucking mouth to mouth in a vulture.
No, I couldn't even bring myself to look in the rear view mirror.
What? So you just bounced? You hit and run the fucking vulture?
I tried. When I saw it, right, I tried to slam on, but it was too close to the crest of the hill, and I hit it, and it was this like there's this awful like sickening, like crunch. And a bit of something flew up. I don't know, it was brain matter on the windscreen or something. And I'm worried about 2 things. I'm thinking, well, A, has it wrecked the car to the extent that I'm in the middle of nowhere and, I don't know where the heck
radiator's burst.
Yeah, I don't know. And 2, I've just killed a living animal, which although I don't mind eating animals, I don't really like the idea of killing them.
Been involved in the act.
That's it's probably got a family, right? Mortgage payments, BMW it's got to pay for. But then I stopped probably about a mile later in a little lay-by, and fortunately it just left a massive dent in the license plate. Which is probably why I've just got a bill for 300 quid this morning.
Did you actually get a bill for it? Yeah.
There's some incidentals that are 300 quid.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably like the dent in the. But anyway, that was the. Yeah, I felt terrible though. It ruined the whole day.
Did you feel a bit sick? Did you just eat, or are you going to eat?
No, I was going to eat. But
you managed to get through.
I'm excited. I'm about to film a new series, and I'm going out on the road. And this is a nice drive. In a second, I've just. Orphaned a couple of birds, probably.
Fucking orphaned a couple of birds. But, those boys that flopped off like, Dave, no! Fuck it, we've got more food now. They've gone down and scranned him.
Probably, yeah.
You what there?
He might have survived.
Fuck
He might
off.
have a really, really tough head. No, I don't think he survived.
When you saw his beak stuck in your, your bumper.
Yeah, but I felt bad. I don't like the idea of animals dying, but I couldn't do anything about it. It was either that or probably swerve off the road, crash into a tree.
So expect this video on Adam's channel. Like his sad face crying, I just killed a bird. I was driving.
No, I didn't even mention it. I thought like it'd probably be poor form to me. There'd be people mad at the fact that we're laughing about it now. So there's nothing funny about killing an animal, but it was just I think that the circumstance by which it happened.
I think it's quite funny to think that you killed an animal, being such a pacifist that you are. Like it is quite funny. That
I know. I mean, I'm like. It's the first time I've ever hit an animate object in my car. I mean, I've hit like a couple of, like stationary objects before. Never hit a living organism.
Yeah,
apart from like a bug, maybe.
I've been in a car when we've hit a rabbit before.
I think it was the size of it. I think if it had been like a little, like a English-sized bird. I'm sure we have big birds over here, but I mean, like the kind of bird you normally see. But it was like fully upright, and you just kind of went like. Like turned at me and looked straight. I see his eyes now. Contact? I'd be waking up like
he's got PTSD.
But I knew that. But yeah, that was on the. I don't know how I got into that story, but that was on the way out to one of the food challenges I did. But yeah, there's plenty of. They say everything's bigger in Texas. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
Texas is big, but like the food challenges were no bigger than you would find anywhere else. Really, I don't think.
I think maybe it's in reference to just actual meals. So like a regular meal, it'd be massive, wouldn't it?
I didn't get any of those, so I wouldn't know. But
that's so weird. I get it, but it's mad that you live off berries and yogurt in between.
In fact, some days on this trip I didn't eat anything. Drank green tea. I do that quite frequently. If I'm going to make a lot of videos, I'll just have a full day off eating, and I'll drink like they have this green tea. I forget what the brand is, but they have this like green tea out there, which is sweetened with that shit that's probably going to. People find out it causes cancer in years. Yeah, aspartame and all that shit. Yeah. But it tastes really good, and green tea normally tastes like arse, right? So, but that
oh yeah, you said like the sweet tea, like the cold sweet tea that we talked about.
Well, I like the sweet tea, like the Arizona stuff. Yeah. But they've got this green tea there as well, which is like in terms of like antioxidants and whatnot, it's good for you. But I'll just drink that. So at least 3 days I didn't eat anything, just like literally ate nothing. So
How long are you out there for?
It was nearly 3 weeks, wasn't it?
That's mad. Like honestly, it feels like I've blinked and you went, and now you're back again.
Lynn said to me when I got, she's like, it feels like you've been gone ages. I'm like, really? It doesn't feel like I've been gone long enough.
Poor Mrs. Beard. Holding the fort down at home. She
doesn't even stay at home when she goes and stays at her mum's house because she's scared of being in the house by herself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah.
I'll come back one time, the house will burn down or something, or there'll be some squatters in there or something.
Using your fucking weight rack. What's the aftermath? I'm sure I've asked this before, but of eating 2.5 kilos of steak, assuming that you actually completed it, like what's the aftermath like? Like what are you feeling like after that? Because it's quite. I imagine it's a bastard to chew as well. Like imagine that's it.
Yeah, I got it well done. It's going to offend a lot of people. Normally, I'm going to enjoy steak. I would never get it well done, right? Because it's pointless. You basically turn it into roast beef, aren't you? But I just couldn't because I knew I was going to be shooting a lot of videos. I was going to shoot. I think the day. Was I shooting the day after that? I can't remember, but for some reason in my head, I just thought I'm gonna get this well done because it's gonna cut down on it. Makes it chewier,
yeah.
But you kind of nuking it like that eliminates a lot of the gristle and the stuff that's gonna, you're gonna have to pull away and stuff like that. It was good steak, but the aftermath's not that bad. I mean, meat stays in you longer. But like it's than say like carbohydrates, but or vegetables or something. But yeah, if you're having a day off eating entirely the next day, it makes no real difference. And in reality, it's quite. I was looking at there was some like it was a fly or a piece of dust or something. Look, see there. Anyway, it's kind of reasonably in terms of its macronutrient composition. It's quite healthy. You're just eating a bunch of meat, and then it's sirloin, so it's fairly lean, and then vegetables, a bit of bread. And if that's all you're eating for 2 days. But yeah, your ass takes a bit of a pounding when it comes to meat. That wasn't the worst though. The worst was probably the contest. My ass was bleeding after the contest.
Actually,
yeah. I think just because that sounds really graphic. I should have put a disclaimer in there. But no, like not directly afterwards. I mean, like the next day, I didn't even eat that. I did pretty bad in the for me, I thought I did pretty bad in the contest. But I think if you just eat a lot of meat, especially if it's something like sausage, which is densely packed, it's harder to pass, the next day. Especially if you don't like, that I drove straight back. I didn't really normally I'd be sipping on water, you know, and
So it was
it was more like a prep thing, I think.
a bit of a rough one.
Yeah. So the next day I had a bit of I don't know if I had hemorrhoids or whatever, but like it was. I don't want to get too graphic. There was a little bit of blood in the bowl. I'm not too worried about it, but you know, I'm all right now.
Who knew? Who knew that'd be? You need a bit of roughage with it to get it past.
Yeah, you always got to like. That's why it's when you're on the road. Like when you're in England, if I'm at home or whatever, or if it's one that's commutable, so it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever. I'll come home. I'll be sipping on water the whole time. I'll pop off something fizzy.
Yeah.
I'll get home and I'll drink plenty of water. If you're kind of out there, you're not really. You know what I mean? You're at the contest and then you're hanging out with people afterwards.
Yeah, getting more dehydrated in the sun.
Yeah, and then like you're on the way home and you don't have any fluids, so you might stop for a drink, and then you know. I got lost on the way home as well.
And then you end up shitting a sandpaper sausage.
Yeah, let's not get into too much detail. It was.
You've mentioned the contest. We may as well divulge a little bit further on that. How come you came out of retirement for that then? I'm pretty sure on the closing episode of when you left, you were like, that's me, lad. I'm done. I'm not doing any more contests.
Yeah,
I ain't playing this game anymore.
Yeah, well, my contract with Major League Eating's up, actually. It's like a 3-year, and it was always like, to me, it's going to be a 3-year thing.
Yeah.
Because without going into too much detail, I guess I think people think that you do food challenges, you know, restaurants. That's
the same thing.
That's hard. Yeah, they think it's the same, and they think that's harmful. I could do food challenges twice a week for the rest of my life, and it would do me no harm, right? And people might disagree with that, but I know how to do it. If you want to be good at contests, right, you need to specifically train for that and do really nasty shit to your body in order to be good at them, right?
Yeah.
So I think after 3 years, you know, I did one season, then COVID happened, right? And 2 years later, my contract's up. I just thought, what's the point in signing again? I'm probably not going to be doing this in 3 years because I don't think I have the effort, the hunger,
to train,
to get back to the level I was at the end of 2019. So why bother, right? But then I knew it was going to be in Texas, right? And the contest is starting to happen again now, and I kind of thought, you know, like I miss it a little bit, you know, like a bit of competition. So why not just? I don't have to sign renew a contract just yet. I could probably get by on this This could be my last contest, right? Or not, but I'll just go do it because I'm already in Texas, right? Yeah. So it kind of feels a bit like I'll see some of the lads from MLE and whatnot and lasses, and see how I do, you know. And I thought I would use it as a bit of a yardstick. That's what I said to the folks in charge at Major League Eating. I was like, I don't know how well I'm going to do. I'm ranked 11th in the world, which is for me that's amazing, right? Yeah. But I'm not at that performative level now, you know. So I'll turn up to see how well I do. If I get absolutely crushed, I'll just quit and never compete again.
You'll hang up your coat.
But if I do all right, maybe I'll stick around. And now I'm thinking maybe I'll stick around because I did terrible, but I was the 4th highest ranked there and I came 4th, you know.
Fucking on the money then, son.
Yeah, but the thing was as well is like I kind of felt encouraged leaving the contest. Because I won whatever $400, which isn't bad. It was always when I did contests back in 2019, it was always the case that I show up trying to place, right, getting the money spots, which is normally 1 out of 4. This was actually 1 out of 5. The purse was decent, you know. I think winner got $3,000, second place got $1,000 maybe, or $1,500. Third place got maybe 900 or something like that, like 400. Then the next place got 200, something like that. So decent payout, especially because it was a small contest. It was really small.
I think of how many like tubes of preparation H you can get for $400. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Straight up your ass, get in.
But I left the contest. I think about half capacity, which kind of encouraged me to think like it was all technique that I lost. Right, I was all over the place. It was like eating fucking shipping rope. Right, it was like they were really hard to eat. It was these like 100-gram sausages. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I just fucked up. Like I would get in a rhythm of doing like say 3 in a minute, which is all right pace, and then I'd get stuck on 1 for a minute, you know, because I couldn't chew through it. So yeah, I left it thinking like maybe I'll resign, maybe I'll just compete again. I don't know. I'll see. But like I filmed that contest for me, so I could look back at the footage,
like training footage.
Yeah, kind of like that. But and to test out the new GoPro and the new DJI action camera I got. Which overheated, so the test failed. But that won't go up on the channel because to me, I think two things, right? One, it takes a lot of the fun out of doing a contest if you film it because you
concentrate on that shit.
Up and you know, like somebody's gonna knock your camera off. So I think if I do contests in future, I won't film it because they make bad. I don't think they make good videos either. Yeah, because you like if you came with me, right? If you had a crew, let's say it's you and George or get Mike or whatever. Yeah. Rest in peace, Mike. I've got you shooting from the VIP area in the crowd on a that'll be good, right? Yeah. But if it's an action camera, what can you do? You can crop in and you can do a bit of like motion blur.
Yeah,
you can't really.
Like I say, I think you can make a pretty dynamic video if you. I would say still use an action camera and worry like use it or not. But if you get shots from the crowd, shots of reaction, like I think you could make a pretty cool video. But I understand like why that one you wouldn't have. And
I thought about it, but then I just thought I don't think people like it.
There's so many. As a creator, there's such a danger of not being present in what you're actually doing, and for that you need to be super present because you might die and you want to enjoy it. And if you're fucking thinking about is that camera rolling, oh shit, it's got a bit bright. You know what it's gone too so overexposed, that short audio might be fun. It ruins everything, doesn't it? Don't you think, like
that was like the thing at Poutine as well, which is my favorite contest from 2019. Is like I spent 30 seconds, which is if you're doing a 10-minute contest,
it's
that's a big chunk of time. Getting because the owner of Smokes Poutinery who kind of sponsor the contest on stage, and he knocked my camera off, right? Which is not his fault. Like I wasn't mad about it. I could have just left it, but I wanted that video, right? Yeah. So I spent 30 seconds picking the camera up off the foot, putting it back on the table. Yeah. Well, he picked it up for me. I had to then reset it, which costs you time and stuff. But I'm there for the content. But I'm thinking now I'm gonna move. If I keep doing contests, I'm just gonna be there to meet people in the crowd in a controlled environment, and just see if I can do well.
That's good, man. Except like you don't need to go on the channel, and like it goes back to that. You want to be present, you want to enjoy it. So yeah, fair play. I get that. Totally get it. So did we say where you placed? Yeah, you said fourth.
I got fourth. Yeah, field was like 10. So I did all right. I mean, there was 3 of the top 5 eaters in the world there, so I was always going to come.
Who are there?
So a guy called Jeff Esper, who looks a bit like like a ripped Tony Shalhoub from Monk. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but he's a really nice guy. But he's like ranked 2nd in the world. But for me, he's arguably the best. A lot of people, they're not going to know him. Like, he's not a household name. But Jeff Esper, he came first. He did like 40, I think. Then Mickey Sudo, who always wins the women's Nathans every year because they separate Nathans, men and women.
Right, okay.
She came second. I think she did like maybe high 30s or something.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. They weren't like hot dogs. They were full fucking like Texas smoked sausages.
And how long was it? Sorry, how long did you? 10 minutes.
10-minute contest.
Shit,
yeah. Right. And then a guy called Nick Wary, I think he's ranked 5th in the world. He came 3rd. Right. Who actually he's like married to Mickey Sudo, like a little bit of Major League Eating inside romance. So I knew I would lose to all 3 of those. I would have lost to all 3 of those back in 2019 when I was good. Or half decent. And then I came 4th, but I was a ways behind. I think Nick did maybe 35 and I did 25, I think.
Wow.
So like it was a way different, but it was all, like I said, it was all technique, and it was like what I should have done to prepare for that contest was nothing to do with capacity. I should have just been chewing gum like all day, like chewing sticks of gum, because it was just it was really
just get your jaw going and get you warmed up.
Because it's like they were normally with the sausage, right? If you ever see me do like a full English breakfast, you'll see me kind of pop the sausage, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You smash it like that, and then you push it down. There was just no give to them. You know what I mean? It was like eating solid meat. There were beef. I think there were beef hot dogs or beef sausages in natural casing. So I was like, I'd do 3 in a minute, and then you pick one, and I'd be like, I couldn't get through it. So, but yeah, it was a fun day, and it was actually fun fact that I learned while I was out there. I don't really follow celebrity culture or anything at all, right? But one of my mates, for some reason, he's addicted to that Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps watching all the coverage. It's mad to me that they even have court coverage publicly available. But anyway, that was Amber Heard's hometown.
Oh, really?
Maine, Texas. I was calling it like manor, as in, like what Danny Dyer would call a house.
Yeah.
But apparently it's pronounced Maine.
And that's where she's from originally?
And she's from there, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that, but he told that was a stat that he told me, yeah.
I just assume that everybody's LA city slickers that are Hollywood actors or actresses. So.
I suppose they're all born in, they're not all born in LA, are they?
Of course not, no.
LA's a shithole anyway. Not to offend anyone from LA.
You know, what a wild thing is that the culture that we've created from this podcast. So 2 things happened when you put them photos up on your Instagram, right? I saw the photos and pissed myself. Oh, you sent them to us initially. You sent them initially, didn't you, to us in his group chat. But I saw them and I thought, I'm going to trash this fucker. So I trashed you. I can't remember what I put something about you being absolutely tiny and called you a
yeah, because I sent you photographs proving that I am average size because I was the tallest. Who was the tallest person on that stage, George?
Not you.
Get the fuck out of town,
We'll get the pictures. We'll upload the pictures on screen.
They were all like bent at the knees.
Yeah.
Including
And you
me,
were the
we're all
same
No,
height.
you were stood bolt upright. There were a lady next to you bent over, and you were like, "Told you, lads." And then you had a picture with a few little people in the crowd, and like, "Look, I'm massive." And you
I'm not saying I'm big. I'm saying I'm average size. You can tell, but if anyone's seen these pictures on Instagram, you can tell that I'm 5'10" ish.
Looked right. We're going to overlay these pictures, but look at the lady that stood next to Adam. Who was
Mickey
bent
Sudo's not
clean
small.
over.
She's not small.
She's like reaching down. Anyway, so I saw these pictures come up, and I was like, I'm going to trash him. So I trashed you, called you a sausage gobbler. And I looked at my
That's a statement of fact.
notifications.
That's not trashing me.
I looked at my notifications, and somebody had commented saying, "Josh Goodgin, insert comment here about being tight," and I'd already done it.
It's like a self-perpetuating joke now, isn't it?
I love it.
I get the feeling that now when people meet me in the street, they're gonna be like,
Proper
"Oh,
disappointed.
you're actually regular size. I thought you were gonna be little."
It's good. I'm doing it for you, like I'm helping you, because people are going to be surprised when they meet you. That's all it is.
Did you see George had commented saying, what did he say? He said something like, he loves the sausage, this lad, or something. And I replied saying, so does your mum. Which, because George and I know each other. And a couple of people commented like, this is so rude. Oh, Beard, I didn't realise you were like this.
Didn't realise you were a prick, Beard. So does your mum. Classic schoolboy joke.
I did think after I said it, I was like, shit, I hope George has a mum.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
I actually don't.
No?
I'm
Yeah, you
joking.
do. Shut up. Can I have some more coffee, boss?
I don't think it was running out.
Is there
Some dregs in there.
Yeah, give me the dregs.
Yeah, so I'm loving that it's like a self-perpetuating joke now. That's all that's left, mate. That people are expecting me to piss at you.
Yeah.
But I did expect to retort, and then you were going to give us the old ratio of likes again, because we've done this back and forth, and obviously it's home team,
I
innit?
think yeah, man. It's been when you get back from that was when I got back from the trip, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not getting the violin out, but it's exhausting, right? So when I get back, I'm tired, right? And I'm done with social media and I'm done with looking at screens, basically.
Yeah, I get that. So you let me have it. You let me have that one. I'll take a little W there.
Yeah.
You mentioned before we were rolling, when we were just chatting shit out there, that some dude were a bit rude to you in one of the challenges.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know if it'll ever make the cut, but I need you to tell us that tale, man.
There is a bit of that interaction in this particular video, which is the second to last one I filmed, I think. But I kept it. You know me, right? I kept it in the parts I kept in made it look more amiable than that interaction actually was. So just to paint a picture, it's not a particularly interesting story, but I go in this place and they do a food challenge, right? But it's not. I didn't know that they actually did it. It was reasonably close to where I was. It was when I was staying in Austin, right?
Yeah.
And it was only about a 30-minute trip. So I thought, I'm not going to call ahead or anything. I'll just turn up. If I can do it, I can do it. If not, drive home. No big deal. So I turned up there, and it's like a counter-serve place. Looks a bit run down, but they've got seating and stuff, like benches like this. So I'm waiting to get seen, but I've got my camera out ready, right? And normally I'm pointing it at the ground, and it's shooting from the moment I go in. So I get the audio and the context of where I am, but I'm not pointing it in people's faces, right? Because that's rude. A lot of people say to me, I wish you could get people's reactions more. And I would if they agreed to it. But if I say to somebody after the fact, can I get you on camera? And they say, no, I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I'm not that kind of person, right? So anyway, I go in, I'm shooting, and at this point at the floor, I'm talking to a couple of these guys in suits who are asking. We have a bit of a gag because they're stockbrokers, and I used to work for a stockbroker, and we're talking and whatnot. Anyway, I get to the guy sees that I've got a camera, the manager, right? And I get to the front, and he asked me what I'm doing. I explain what I'm doing. He said, yeah, of course you can do it. You know, Wall of Fame's behind you, have a look at it. I'm like, oh, great, you know. I said, do you mind being on camera? If not, it's no problem, which is what I always, that's the line I always lead with. Said, if you don't want to be, it's fine, but it adds to the video a bit. He's like, no, it's fine. And he looks across at the waitress or the person who's taking the orders. She's like, yeah, it's fine. So I turn to get set all my tripod up and everything. And I turn around, and this guy says, he's like, hey, boy, since you're not from around here, I should tell you, it's not polite to film people on private property.
What it Forrest Gump?
Well, I'm trying to do a Texas. This is my Texas voice. I said, yeah, I all right, lad. But I said, I didn't say all right, lad. He wouldn't have known what I was talking about. I said, yeah, but I mean, if you'd caught the whole conversation rather than the last 30 seconds, you'd know that I actually asked them pretty much as soon as I came in, and they're both okay with it. He says, hey, well, that's all right, but you know, and he just kept pecking away, and he kept going on. He said, he's basically saying that the waitress looked surprised. Like she didn't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
So I just said to him, this is the last part in the video. I said, I'm a pretty handsome lad, you know, so maybe she's just taken aback by that, you know. So I'm trying to wind him up a little bit because he's been a busybody. And he's like, no, I don't think it's that. And then that's where it cuts on the video. So it creates some kind of comedy in the video. But then after that, he says to me, I'm just saying, like, why are you getting, you know, why are you involving yourself in this?
Mind your fucking business.
I was being very polite with him, but then he said to me, he said, so have you moved here now? I said, moved here? And I said, no, I'm going home. He said, good. So yeah, I'm just saying to him, yeah, I can't fucking wait. I can't wait, you know. But that was the only negative. And the good thing about that video is like the rest of it, like at the end, they're all, I don't want to give it away, but
yeah,
it was like a 7-year-old record or something at this place, and you have to beat the record to get it free, right? So it's a bit different to what I would normally do, right? It's a bit more of a speed orientated thing. But yeah, like I said, these two guys in the suits, they basically said to me, come and sit next to us, we want to see, you know, and everyone else is getting involved. It was just this one dick splash.
What a fucking shit house, man. Like,
I just thought, I can't understand. I hate when people, it's like you said, some people just like confrontation. And I hate when people get in, it's nothing to do with him. You know, I'd already asked their permission. He's just making the assumption that because I'm English and I've got a camera, it's not his restaurant, you know, he's just a patron there. So,
mind you, if it's a little one-horse town and they don't see folk coming by very often, maybe he just wanted to make a little name for himself. Like, I fell out with that fucking bearded YouTuber that came in.
That's awful. That was like you said
that was
my
way
voice
better
was
than
bad.
yours. Put it in the comments. Who did a better accent? I've not been abroad for years. How can I relay an accent that I've not heard? I heard we all Forrest Gump.
But yeah, that was the only negative aspect of the trip. And even that was like, it was funny for the sake of the video, because in the video I just make a gag about me being handsome. I don't think I'm handsome, by the way. It was just my way of saying shut the fuck up to this guy without being rude, you know, or confrontational. I don't want to get shot. So
I wanted, so I can imagine how that went. So you cut it at that point. Then the credits come up. Subscribe here, view next video, and then there's that little section afterwards.
It's mid video. No, it's mid video.
Is it?
It's as I walk away. I'm sitting at the guy. He's like, "Oh, what milkshake do you want?" I said, "What's the best milkshake?" I like banana. I'm like, "You give me banana then, buddy. I'll take banana." Everything's like upbeat and positive.
Yeah.
I turn around. This guy starts
You got this
fronting me
with a grey cloud over his head.
Yeah.
Oh, I just dropped a C-bomb. That's the first one on the podcast.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put a special disclaimer on. That's the funny thing to me was that he's like, it's polite to ask somebody, or it's only legal to film somebody on private property. I was like, well, it's polite to ask somebody even in public. I'm not gonna just go out in the street and start jamming a lens in someone's face. But yeah, I don't know, man. Some people just want to be involved in stuff, don't they? You know.
Well, you came out unscathed, man, and. Just to do some more damage to your blood pressure. With that, we're going to London in a couple of weeks. It's going to be well interesting. See you on the train with your boy again.
I'll be content provided everyone's polite to me.
Might have to hit up Kate, see if she could tell us some food spots. She said that to us on the podcast, didn't she?
Wonder if Kate, maybe she's going.
She ain't got a podcast, though, has she?
No, but she gets invited to all kinds of shit, doesn't she?
Very true.
She's on the red carpet for movie premieres and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know, but
yeah, she might be there.
I doubt it though. But yeah, broadly speaking, trip was good. Got lots of cool videos, and yeah, I'm happy with how it went. You know, having never been to Texas, it's not my favorite place I've been. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's big as fuck as well, man.
Yeah, it's fuck.
I feel like they should just can't they just make a different, there should be another state in there, like New Texas or something, like carve it in two. It feels like there's a lot of land to control for one state.
It's huge, mate. When we did Route 66 and we went down like through just the north part, because we went past that big Texan.
Yeah.
And you don't realize how, because like we went to Texas, I figured like Texas, south of of North America, I figured it'd be fucking red hot. But we drove through like north of Texas through like the mountains. It was freezing.
The northernmost part, yeah.
Yeah, and I expected it to be, a desert, a cactus rolling by. I mean, America itself is just I
figured out like where I would like, because I flew into Houston, right, and there was a lot of places in like Louisiana which were close, that did food challenges that were closer to get to than say Dallas. I didn't go to Dallas. I wanted to go to Dallas.
So far away.
Because there are lots of food challenges in Dallas, but it was like a 4.5 hour drive, which is that's a bit like. I'd done like San Antonio, which is 3 hours,
Yeah.
Austin, which is 3 hours, and I'd stayed over and done like a few, but I just couldn't be, I didn't want to do another 4 hour drive and then 4 hours back or 4.5 hours or whatever it is for the sake of going to Dallas. So maybe I'll do that next time I visit Texas, because there's plenty of food challenges there. But I've pretty much done all the ones in Houston now.
Now that you're back on the scene for competitions, we might be jet setted for them all.
Powdery the last few
Yeah,
mouthfuls.
that was some dregs for that, mate. Mate, I think that's it. As far as like returning podcasts go, say you've been away for 3 weeks. I think that's.
Okay.
What did you have more to say? Sorry.
No. It feels like it's been short.
How long have we been
but
rolling
that's
for
not
then?
necessarily a bad thing.
50 minutes.
All right.
What was that noise again? I think that was really good. We've got a good flow in there. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy, George. Right, kids. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Any final comments?
No, just if you're gonna eat lots of sausage, eat lots of fibre. I think it's just
Have some
good
Weetabix
advice in
for your
general.
sausage.
Yeah. Peace.
Bye-bye.